For fans, can you just tell us a little bit what Primeval New World is all about? The official synopsis.
Party.
Oh yeah,
Party. No, go on.
Primeval New World is a spin-off of obviously the successful UK version Primeval. But this show is a standalone show on its own. But there is obviously crossover between the two shows. This one is set in Vancouver, BC, and it revolves around a new group of people. Evan Cross is my character, and Dylan Weir is Sarah's, and Mac Rindle is Danny's. And we are just part of the team that is assembled on North American soil to go out and try to discover what these anomalies are all about and try to prevent these creatures from wreaking havoc in the beautiful city of Vancouver and the surrounding areas.
I know you have a post-watershed slot, which the British version didn't. What's that mean for the show?
It means I can swear. At last.
Yes, it does.
What does that bring to the show, though? I mean, what can we expect that's different from the original?
Well, the show is... our Primeval New World is a lot gorier. We're able to show a lot more graphic content now, and like Potsy alluded to, we do swear. The subject matter is it's a little bit more mature than the original, but we still have that aspect of like not taking the show too seriously. I mean, we're doing a show about dinosaurs, right? So we still have that very fun aspect to it as well, but it is definitely meant for an older audience.
Also, as well, I mean, are there any moments you particularly enjoyed shooting, and also stuff that you're looking forward for viewers to see?
Most of it, I think.
The dinosaurs on our show are pretty incredible. Like Mark Savella and his team, they've done such an amazing job, and to see where the sort of first Primeval was and where it ended up, and now we've sort of developed on that, and we've just got an amazing CGI special effects team. So I think even we were kind of surprised when we saw the dinosaurs and we saw cuts. They're really good.
It's fun for us because we're acting against nothing, and there's sometimes a guy in a gray suit or a silver ball, and that's it. And then for us to see the CGI is pretty amazing too, because I think a lot will hinge on the credibility of the creatures, and what we've seen has been pretty incredible so far.
Yeah, it's not only the CGI that was an interesting effect on our show. We had an incredible stunt coordinator, Marshall Virtue, come on board. He's a young guy, and the stunt work that we were getting to do was quite risky, and a lot of us as the actors were able to do our stunts on our own. So that type of thing, I'm really excited to see that and see how that worked out, because I know that the stunt work we were doing was pretty intense. I know that my body got put through the ringer this year. I was covered in bruises by the end of the season, so it took me a while to recover. But it was worth it, so I'm excited to see that stuff.
What's it like having one of the original British cast members along for the ride, and how are you finding it in Canada?
It's all right.
It was great. It was great welcoming Andrew to the cast. It was the very first episode that we got to film together, and it was a much needed thing to happen, I believe, to have that handoff for Primeval New World, and to have his character, specifically Connor Temple, come over and basically try to get our team to either stop doing what we're doing or at least abide by the rules that his team had previously discovered. So it was really cool to have that handoff, and I think that the fans are going to enjoy that crossover, and hopefully that will bring a lot of the original fans to Primeval New World.
And his role was a kind of a cool catalyst, I think, for how the rest of the season rolls along, and sort of what the conflict is within Evan, I think, for much of the storyline too, and what he shares with the rest of the team. And yeah, I think it was a pretty important little...
Plus, he's somewhat funny.
Average.
I thought it was really important. No, for me, it was great. I mean, one, I love Primeval. I love the whole kind of thing. So to see it grow and develop and share it with other people was fantastic. Vancouver, I adore. I really like it there. So I just jumped on the opportunity to go and do it. And obviously, I heard he was in it, so it's always a plus with his hands.
I'm glad he wasn't there without his hands.
Different kind of show.
Guys, talking about the new characters in the show, can you just maybe tell us a little bit about each of them and kind of what you feel they bring to the mix?
Sure. I play Dylan Weir, And at the beginning of season 1, she's a conservation officer, specifically a predator control expert. Can't imagine why they need one of those. But the great thing about Dylan is not only is she a great addition to the team on the technical aspect and her knowledge in animal behavior, but she is also, I think, a bit of a grounding, calming force on the team, because she's also very intuitive when it comes to human behavior, and there's, might be a panic attack or two when you're dealing with dinosaurs.
And she's kind of hot as well, which helps.
Yeah, no.
Kinda.
Stop.
Stop it in 20 minutes.
I can't say anything more. That's it now. Now I'm all flustered. No, I think she's pretty. I think she's a good woman to have around. I don't know. Is she? She's all right.
She's a great woman to have around. She is a great woman to have around. Yeah. And I play Evan Cross. Evan Cross is described as a visionary inventor hero type guy, but behind all of that, it's a lot of acting. But behind all that, though, like what we find out about Evan very early in the series is that he lost his wife to a dinosaur 6 years previously. So he has a big void that he's trying to fill, and with the whole we did an outtake scene, and Andrew was there, and it was really funny.
You had to be there.
You had to be there. You had to
watch
get
for
the
the
outtakes.
gag reel.
Recreate it.
Yeah.
You can't use the words.
But yeah, Evan's the one that kind of assembles this team, because it's his obsession, it's his fascination with these anomalies, and his need to understand why these are occurring, and he wants the scientific evidence. He wants to figure out how to stop them, or at least prevent them from occurring. So that's Evan's whole role in this team of misfits.
I play Mackenzie Rendell, who's recruited by Evan from the UK. Matt grew up on a council estate in East London, and his dad passed away recently, or at the beginning of the series had passed away recently, and his mum wasn't very well, so in the face of adversity, he's recruited by Evan, and he comes over to North America and joins the team initially as a security guard at Cross Photonics. And as we see through the first series, progresses to join the dinosaur hunting team.
Brigade.
Yeah, the Dino Whisperers. It's great because Mac is sort of the audience in a way. He's not used to this world. He's not familiar with any of this stuff, the technology, the dinosaurs. So it's almost like the audience's eyes. That as Mac progresses through the series, it's the first time he sees a particular dinosaur or some weaponry or some of the technology. So it's really nice in that sense. It's kind of like the first time he sees it is when the audience will see various things. So that's quite cool.
Andrew, have you been kind of teaching the guys a little bit about how to survive
touching
these
my
prehistoric
phone?
creatures?
I hope not.
Go on, say it.
Have you been teaching the guys in the show a little bit about how to survive these prehistoric creatures, and how do you think you'd fare if this were real life? Which
No,
of you would be
I
left
haven't
standing?
taught them anything. We've got it down. It is interesting to see how they were doing it compared to how we did it with the reactions. I think is obviously the hardest thing. The thing that we've always talked about is literally when there's 4 people in the scene and there's something you're like, what are you doing? Because how do you gauge how scared are you right now?
7.
7.
Right now.
And how would you fare if it was real?
Yeah, how would you fare if it were real life?
Oh,
Who'd be left standing?
Shit
who do you think?
myself.
Well, I'm a pretty fast runner, so as long
Oh,
as
I'm a fast runner.
as long
I'm
as,
faster.
Uh-oh.
Then
Then I might not fare very well. I might not fare very well.
I just want to see you run. I just love seeing you run.
Whoa, there's a story in that.
Hands running. What more is there?
Brilliant. I'm
So
fast
basically,
as well, so.
Sarah would save the day.
I would
We would
save
all run
the
away.
We would bail. And Sarah would say,
I would stand there and I'd punch the dinosaur in the face.
Whoa,
until
there's no
it
need for
passed
that
out.
though, is there?
No, I have a lot of pent up. Dylan has a lot of pent up rage. Apparently, I don't know. I think that's the most interesting though of the entire thing is a reality show about us all trying to throw each other under the bus to survive. Really.
No friends
Hunger
here.
Games. Hunger Games meets Primeval New World. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're quite
Let's do
cool,
that.
actually.
Yeah.
I'm copywriting it. It's my idea.
All right.
So I'd kind of like to know who you'd have in mind if you were punching that dinosaur. Would you have someone in mind, like if you were in the gym or something, punching the bag? kind of thing, to get that rage going, to knock him out?
No, I love everyone. No, I don't have pent-up rage. Only against dinosaurs. I lied. No.
All three of you looked extremely concerned.
Yeah.
We already get that stuff.
I like Niall's reactions.
Yeah.
Unless there's one last question, I think we're...
Well, I guess final question, do you guys have a message to fans? Anything you'd like to say to them?
Danny always does this one. He does this part.
Posse loves you very dearly, and he always will, and we love you too. So enjoy the show.
Peace.
Out. 8 out.